What's happening, everybody? I hope you're doing exceedingly well today. So Lee here again for another beginner club, and in this session we're going to be learning the wonderful Tonight. So first of all, let's just make sure that everybody can hear me all right. So these are obviously my vocals. These here, or this here, is my guitar. So what you heard at the start, this here, just a loop I made earlier. Okay, so let me just check the comments, guys, just to make sure that everybody can hear me, all right? So give us a little thumbs up if the audio is all good, both on guitar side and vocal side and looper side. Yeah, cool, awesome, all good, all right. All right then, guys, so wonderful tonight it is. So let's have a quick little look and run through what we're going to be covering today. So maybe let's bring up this one here because it's a little bit bigger for everybody to see. Okay, so we're just going to have a little look at we've got like a cool little interesting fact about the song to start there, which I'll read through in a second. We're then going to take a little look at the song overview, which will include the time, tempo, and key. We're then going to take a little look at the chords used, and I'm going to give you an extra easy way of playing through the chord progressions as well, an alternative way to this here, or to these chords. For those of you that might be kind of new to some of these chords, such as like a G going to a C and that kind of thing. Okay, and then we've got a bunch of chord progressions. We've got an intro and a verse, which is what I played at the very start. Knock that down to that. We've got a chorus. We've got a bridge and a middle and an outro. But you can see there that essentially it's only those chords there. G, C, D, and an E minor. But we can chuck in a D with an F sharp as well, if you're comfortable enough with a D. All right, so let's move on again. So then we're going to take a little look at some strumming patterns. So just nice, simple grade 1 to 3 strumming patterns for you there. 8th note strumming patterns. And if we keep going, we've then got a song structure. So with the song structure, you can use that once you've learned the sections, you can use that to play through the whole song with the audio. It just helps kind of like keep everything nice and organized in your head as to which part you're playing it through and how many times. And then to finish off, I'm gonna show you a cool little way, cool little simplified way of playing the lead guitar part. It's not the original kind of bendy part. That would be more in the intermediate kind of category. But this here will work for you beginners really well, I hope. All right, so let's zoom back to the start, guys, and let's get into it, as they say. All right, so Wonderful Tonight by Eric Clapton. So released in 1977 on the album Slow Hand, Wonderful Tonight is one of the most famous ballads in rock history. While it sounds like a straightforward romantic tribute, the story behind its creation is filled with fascinating details about rock royalty and the reality of life behind the scenes. So did you know it was written out of impatience? So the song wasn't composed in a studio or during a dedicated writing session. Eric Clapton wrote it on September the 7th, 1976, 2 years before I was born, whilst waiting for his then girlfriend, Pattie Boyd, to get ready for a party. The couple was heading to a Buddy Holly tribute party hosted by Paul and Linda McCartney. Boyd was struggling to find the right outfit and was repeatedly changing clothes upstairs. While she was panicking about her hair and dress, a slightly impatient Clapton sat down downstairs with his guitar. By the time she finally came down and asked, "Do I look alright?" he had essentially finished the song. How cool is that? All right, I didn't know that. There was somebody in the WhatsApp group that knew that, and a little bit more. Okay, so song overview, guys. So this song is going to be played in 4/4 time. So for those of you that are not familiar with time signatures and times that songs are played in, 4/4 basically means that we're going to be playing four beats per bar. So we're going to be counting 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So the tempo, which basically means the speed, is around 96 BPM. So you'll hear that when you play it, but if you want to get an idea for how fast that is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. So the key we're going to be playing in is G major. Now, as usual, we've got a chord chart just there, or I should say a key chart. So in the top row, we've got the notes in the key of G major. I've left off the F sharp, which is a little bit frustrating. So it's meant to be G, A, B, C, D, E, and F sharp. I've left that off accidentally, typo. Underneath that, we've got chord numbers, because each of those individual notes can be harmonized into full chords, major and minor chords. So we've got 7 chords, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You'll notice that the 2 and the 3 are minor chords. Oh, sorry, the 2, 3, and the 6 are minor chords. And the 7th is a diminished chord. So we're not going to get too deep into the theory in this session, just because it's a beginner session and I've got 1 hour to teach you a full song. But if you are interested, as it says on the sheet there, check out Justin's practical music theory course. All right then, so underneath the chord number, we've got the chords. So you can see in this song, we're only going to be playing through the 1, the 4, the 5, and the 6 chords. So the 1, 4, 5, and 6 chords are without doubt the most common and popular chords in any key. So for G, that's the G, the C, the D, and the E minor. Okay, so moving swiftly onwards, the chords used throughout this song are, like we said, G, C, D, and E minor. Now I think in the original, the chord D is replaced with a D/F sharp, which essentially means you're playing a D, but with an F sharp in the bass. And I've shown you 2 ways that you could tackle that on here. So let's quickly just run through these chords, all right? I'm just going to change my view, so hopefully you can see everything a little bit better. What if I just do that and I come in super close here? All right, so first chord, hopefully you've all got this one here. It's just a standard G chord, so we'll build it 1 finger at a time to start. First finger, fret number 2 on the A. Make sure that you're up close behind the metal fret wire. Second finger is going to go on fret number 3 on the E string, the low E string. Again, try and get the finger nice and close behind the metal fret wire. Don't go for the middle, definitely don't go far back in the fret, right up close there. Pardon me. And then finally, we're going to place the third finger right down here on the high E string. And again, nice and close behind the metal fret wire. And then that should give us, if we pick through the notes just 1 at a time. Now, if you want to, you can play any G that you're familiar with and comfortable with for this song, all right? You can play the big G with the 2 fingers here on the bottom, if that's what you want to do. You can play, you can take the first finger off, use the underside of the second finger to mute that and play the G like this. So Justin likes to play like that a lot. I also like that, it just sounds great. And if you want to, you can play the G, the finger 3 and 4 G just like this. That's great as well. All right. Okay, next chord is the C chord. So first finger, fret 1 on the B string, nice and close behind the metal fret wire. Finger 2, fret 2 on the D string, nice and close behind the metal fret wire. Finger 3 on the fret 3 on the A string, nice and close behind the metal fret wire. There's pretty much only one way of playing the C chord. And that's it really, unless you're kind of adding fingers. Okay, and then we've got a D chord. So for the D, first finger fret 2 on the G, nice and close behind the metal fret wire. Second finger fret 2 on the high E, nice and close behind the metal fret wire. Finger 3 on fret 3 on the B string, nice and close behind the metal fret wire. Highest 4 strings. And then have a quick drink of tea. Hope you've all got your tea or your coffees or some form of beverage. I've got a cool story, really cool story. Well, it's not that cool actually, but I won't disrupt. Okay, so finally then we've got, I'm going to jump over the D/F sharps for a minute, and I'm going to just jump to the E minor. So for the E minor, we're going to place finger 2, fret 2 on the A string. We can't get this one right up close because we need the second finger on fret, we need the third finger on fret 2 on the D string, nice and close. So it's quite difficult to get this one really close when this one's there. All right, so there's the E minor. All right, so if you can play those 4 chords, you can basically play the song. The additional D/F sharps, which we'll go through now, they just kind of create a little bit more of a vibe around that kind of F sharp, and it'll probably sound a little bit closer to the original. Not mega closer, but a little bit closer. Okay, so before we jump into these, I'm just going to double check, read some comments to see if there are any questions or anything that I am missing, or if anyone has any questions, ping them over now. Oh, thanks, dude. Lee, you're wonderful tonight. Oh, give out the love. Gotta give out the love. Still needs a duster on that guitar. I know. Right, next one. I'm going to make sure that's dusted. Look at that. Look at that. There you go. Still needs a duster. The magic tone dust. Okay, cool. So I think everyone's all right with what we've gone through so far. So let's jump in and check out these additional chords. So I'm going to try and get it nice and close again. So the way that I would generally play the D/F sharp, I would play the D as normal. This is how I do it, but I'm going to show you 2 different ways. And then I would use the thumb to play the F sharp there, essentially, just like that. And then depending, I might mute with the thumb. This can be tricky, right? So maybe if you kind of play the D/F sharp, the other version is going to be a little bit easier. But I'll show you how I do it first of all. So the thumb would come over and play the F sharp there. The rest of the fingers are playing the D. And I get this note. My A is muted, but you don't have to mute the A if you can't reach. You can just leave the ring, the A ring open with it muted, and without it muted. So when you go from, like, say, a G chord, you get this nice little, this note that goes from here down to there, this bass note between the 2 chords, right? And then, okay, so the other way of playing the D/F sharp that might be a little bit easier for a lot of you is to leave the third finger where it is, but then you'd place the second finger where the first finger was, just there, and then you'd bring the first finger up on the F sharp note there. The first finger then mutes the A string underneath, and this part of the first finger down here will be muting the high E string. Okay? It can feel a bit fiddly, and it's not mega important anyway. I think because this is a grade 1 to 3 class, stick with that regular D for now, okay? So just as a little diversion, if you want to make this kind of a little bit easier again, there's a way you can play through this progression using a third finger anchor throughout. So for the G, I haven't put these chords down, but it's just the way that you could do it, right? You could play the G like this with the third finger here, second finger up here, and then you can just, you know, leave that open. But I guess you really want to kind of be muting it somewhere with the finger down here. You get that. And and then you get the D, third finger anchor, and then you can get the C, like a C add 9, leave this open, let it ring. So the second finger went up on fret 3 on the A string, first finger played fret 2 on the D. So it's a C add 9 chord, and then back to the D. So we get G, third finger stays there, second finger, fret 3 on the E, the D as normal, keeping the third finger down as an anchor, keep the third finger down again, second finger fret 3 on the A, first finger fret 2 on the D, and then back down to the D. So you could play through like that if you want, but that said, I think using the chords as like we've got in there, it's worth kind of practicing and getting those kind of nailed. But I thought I'd just kind of chuck in an alternative version. All right, so let's move on, guys. So let's look at some of the chord progressions. So the intro and the verse. So the intro and the verse, essentially that's the part. The intro is where you hear the lead guitar part, which now the same chords are also playing when Eric starts singing to start the song off. So let's go through that together, okay? We've got G, D, C, D. So jot that down, make a mental note, or if you've got these notes already, have them in front of you. And then we're going to jump into some strumming patterns that I prepared just here. So let's make that a little bit bigger. So you can see we've got strumming pattern 1. This is for people that are really new to the chords, that struggle with the changes. Or not struggle, but are a little bit slower with the changing, okay? So we would essentially play, we'd count 1, on the G chord we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we change chords to the next chord in the song, which is a D. And we'd count from the 1 there. So we'll play G, D, C, and D. We're just going to strum the first beat for each chord, okay? So I'll give us a count in. Let's go back up to our previous here. So G, D, C, and D. Okay, I'm going to give us a count in, and we're just going to strum on the first beat of each bar. All right, here we go, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And around again to the G, 4. G, 2, 3 to the D. 1, 2. Then to C. 2, 3 back to D. And let's go around again to G. 1, 2, 3 and D. 2, 3, 4. C and D come in. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can try that with my loop if you want to. You know what I'm gonna have to do? I have to get a loop that can store kind of multiple loops, so then I can kind of record a loop for every single section. Something to consider for the next class. All right, so we'll try it with the loop, okay? So I'm gonna let it play through once. I'll give you a count in, and we'll just try one strum on each chord to start, all right? So let that ring through. D, that's C, 2, ready after 4. D, 2, 3, 4. G, 2, 3, 4. D, 2, 3, 4. C, 2, 3, 4. D, and again, 2, 3 to the G, G, 2, 3 to the D, 1, 2, 3 to the C, and back to D, 2, 3, and back to G, 2, 3 to D, 2, and to C, 2, 3, and to D, 2, 3, 4. Cool. So everybody okay with that so far? Any questions up until now? That feel okay? I'll just hang about for a second, just to see if there's going to be any comments, anything that you kind of find difficult. If so, ping it into the messages, and I'll do my best to try to answer. All right, so what we can do then, we can move on and take a little look at pattern 2 and pattern 3, and whichever pattern you use is going to depend on kind of where you are with your development. One little side note, if you are interested in improving your strumming and going through things extremely well organized, then check out Justin's Strumming SOS course. Okay, so strumming pattern 2, quite simply guys, as you can see, we've got the count and the strum. We're going to be strumming down, which is the D on the 1, 2, the 3 and the 4. All right, so that's simply going to be, we're in 4/4 time, remember? So we're just going to be playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you want something that kind of goes more with the song, we can strum down, down, up, down, which would be 1, 2, and 3, and 4, which is pattern 3, right? So if you look at that carefully, we've got the 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and up the top, and then we've got the down, down, up, down, which will sound like this already. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, down. Now just remember, when we're strumming, unless you're just doing just the straight 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're kind of spending beats 2, 3, and 4, not strumming but focusing on the change, you can just leave your hand kind of like, just leave it down until it comes back around to the 1. I guess ideally you want to keep it moving, but if you're focusing on getting your fingers in the right place, it's probably going to be hard to keep it moving. So if you can make those changes though, you could try to keep the hand moving like this, ready? So back to strumming pattern 1, we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, the hand moving, 3, and 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. But like I said, if you're kind of just about getting your fingers, or if you need to focus all on this hand, just strum once, leave your hand, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Just do it like that, right? Okay, cool. So make a mental note or write that down on a little bit of paper, and then we'll try strumming through a few of the other chord progressions and parts of the song. Just know as well, these are just kind of strumming patterns that I've come up with that I think kind of work well with the song, but especially for this beginner 1 to 3 stage. But if you're comfortable, if you've been working through Justin's Strumming SOS, or if you've just got your strumming down in general, you can come up with any strumming pattern you want, so long as you kind of stay within the realm of 8th notes and you keep the hand moving, good old faithful, remember? If you want, you can always use Justin's strumming machine on the website, which is free, to create your own strumming patterns. Okay, so choose one of those strumming patterns, choose the one that fits where you are right now the best, and let's take a little look at the chorus. Okay, so the chorus section then, we're going to be playing through the same set of chords again, but now we've got an E minor in there. All right, in 1, 2, 3, bar 4, we've got the E minor. But also, if you notice in bar 1, 2, 3, because we always read from left to right, like we're reading words in a book. So we'll go from the top 2, the middle 2, and then the bottom 2 chords. So chord 1, chord 2, chord 3, chord 4, or bar 1, bar 2, bar 3, bar 4, bar 5, bar 6. So if you look in bar 3, we've got 2 chords per bar. So that's just the one area. If you're doing one down strum per bar, per chord, or per bar 4, I should say, you're going to have to, for that particular bar there, you're going to have to do a down strum on the 1 beat and the 3rd beat. So that will sound something like, we're going from that G, and it'll be, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you're going to do down strums on each beat, you're going to play 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you're doing the 1, let me go back to it just to make sure you're all reminded of it. It's the 1, 2 and 3 and 4. So down, down, up, down, up, down. Now I think that's going to be quite tricky over that because it'll be... It's a little bit, what do you call it? It's tricky. So I would probably just for that bar, maybe do 1, 2, 3, 4, unless you're really comfortable with your strumming and your changes. Just play it 1, 2, 3, 4, then E minor, go back into the strumming pattern. All right, so we'll give that a little play through then, guys, from the C all the way through to the D. All right, starting on the first bar then, after 4, a little bit slower than normal. So I'm just gonna bring this more kind of like that so you can see me playing through it. All right, here we go, after 4. A 1, starting on the C, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and D, 2, 3, 4, then G for 2, and D for 2, and E minor, 2, 3, 4, and C for 4, and D, and then it goes back into the intro and the verse. Let's try that one more time. Let me see if I can get myself a little bit better in the shot. All right. And again from the C, this time I'm just going to do 1 strum per bar. A 1, 2, 3 on the C. 1, 2, 3 to the D. 1, 2, 3, and then we got G. 1, 2, and D. 2 to E minor. 2, 3, 4, and C. And then D, and then back into the etc. So any questions on those chords there? Next time I'm going to make sure I've got a loop pedal that I can kind of play through each of the parts, because I think it'll be a bit more fun and more realistic. I can't play the originals because of copyright, but I'm pretty sure I can play a loop. Okay, cool. CR9 sounds lovely in the verse, but it doesn't fit that good in the chorus, in my opinion. You could be right. Let's try it, right? So we've got the... Oh, I wish I could sing better than that. It sounds all right, man. But it's all personal preference, isn't it, music? And then she asks me if I look alright, and I say yes, you look wonderful. Man, I need some singing lessons. Okay, cool. So let's move on again, my wonderful friends. So we've got, what you're going to hear is, right, we've got a bridge section coming up there. So before we jump into that, let's just take a little look at the song structure. Let's make that a little bit bigger. So you're going to see with the song structure, it starts off with an intro, and I've written lead guitar on there, which is a slight typo. That's meant to mean intro and verse. So that's what it means. But also the intro is the it's where the lead guitar comes in as well. Actually, no. I've got that right, sorry. Yeah, so the intro is the same as the verse, but I've just written intro / lead guitar, so you know that's the part when the lead guitar is playing. Okay, so the overall song structure, we've got that intro with the lead guitar. We're going to play through that 2 times. Then we've got the verse. We're going to play through the progression 2 times. And then we've got the chorus, which we play through once. And then it goes back to the intro and the lead guitar. You'll hear this when you're listening to the music. You'll be able to kind of like follow along. If you're just listening to me now, you're probably thinking, what does all that mean? It's just the parts that we've got written out just in this very order. So if you listen to the song you want to play through, make sure you follow this order. But if you just jump on from up until where you've got this bridge section, you've got a bridge and a middle. So you'll hear the middle in the song. It's got a, it just stands out a mile. And these are the chords here. The bridge is just straightforward. You finish a chorus, and then we just play 2 bars of G, which is going to be after 4. Let's try that bridge. Ready? Starting on a G chord. A 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's that, and then it goes into this. Dee, 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 dee. Dee, 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 dee. Sorry. So let's give that a little playthrough, right? We'll play through, let's go through the bridge and we'll jump straight into the middle. So there's nothing new in that middle section that should kind of trouble you, because it's all the same chords. The third bar down again, guys, as you can see, we've got a G on the first beat and a D on the third beat. Other than that, it's kind of pretty, it's pretty straightforward. So let's give that a playthrough, right? We'll go from the bridge, 2 bars of G, all the way through the middle, and then we'll jump back into where we are in the song. All right, so after 4, here we go. Let's get back into this view so you can see me a little bit better. All right then. Okay, from the bridge, from the G at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. C, 2, 3, 4, and D, 2. Ready now? We've got G for 2 and D for 2 and E minor 2, 3, 4 and C 2, 3, 4, D 2, 3, 4 and C 2, 3, 4 and D. I should say actually that last D, you want to be hitting it with just one down strum. You'll hear it in the song. It just kind of plays that kind of, just prolongs how it sounds. It prolongs the, and then it goes back into the lead guitar part, which is the same as the verse. So hopefully everyone is all right with that there. Any questions again, guys, just let me know and I shall answer. What do we got? Can we do no chords on the up strum when we're changing from the G to the D? So like, yeah, so you mean a strum, a transition strum I call them, like where you're kind of playing, where you're kind of hitting the notes or the strings whilst you're kind of transitioning from one to the next, right? So if you wanted to, you could, if you're doing just the down strums, you could try 1, 2, 3, transition. If you're doing that strumming pattern, it's going to sound a little bit, it's too obvious. It needs to be kind of quicker. So if you add it, it needs to be on the and after 4. So if we just go back to, the pattern 3 there, okay, and you see that we've got 1, 2, and 3, and 4. If you want to add a transition strum, add it on the and after 4, which would be an up. So you'd get like 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and bit up speed. Sorry, and again. So definitely add it in there when it's up to speed, because it doesn't sound, you know, it just kind of, it just flows. Okay, cool. I think your singing is great. Oh, cheers, dude. I wish it was better, if I'm honest. I wish I had a higher range. I can't sing very high. Okay, open strings on an up strum. Yes, Miles. Top draw, well done. While changing chords will sound fine, absolutely. Absolute boss, well done, man. And someone saying, I meant on the bar with the 2 chords. Again, you need to do it on that end, otherwise it just sounds too obvious. So what I would do, on the 2 bars, I would just play the 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what I would do. Just simplify it as much as you want. 1, 2, 3, 4. I wouldn't add any other strums in. Just keep it kind of simple and straightforward like that. Okay, so that then takes us on to, so we've gone, if we look through the song again, we've got an intro, verse 1, chorus, then we've got the lead guitar, verse 2, chorus. That then takes us into the bridge and the middle, which we just went through. then it goes into a lead guitar part, and then a verse which we've just gone through, a chorus which we've just gone through, and then an outro. So let's jump in and take a look at the outro, guys. So it's that there. Now, whenever you're learning kind of songs, we always want to be looking for patterns in the chord progression that we can use, because if we know there's something happening in the verse that happens in the outro, in this case here, we want to make sure that we know that so we can just replicate it rather than just seeing this whole outro here as a completely different set of chords. So as you can see, again, nothing here that should trouble you, but if you look at the last 4 bars, we've got G, D, C, D, which essentially is the same as the intro section or the intro lead guitar section. And you just play it through 2 times to end, all right? So all you need to remember for the outro then is to play the G on the first beat, the D on the 3rd beat of bar 1, and then we've just got an E minor, C, and a D, and then that last 4 bars times 2, which is, like I said, the intro. So let's maybe give that a little play through. We'll go from the top of that, so from the G. Okay, here we go. I'll give you a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. E minor. 2, 3 to the C. 2, 3, and the D. Then to G. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. D. 2, 3, 4, and C. 2, 3, 4, and D. Repeat the last 4. Here we go on the G. G. 2, 3 to the D. 2, 3 to the C. 2, 3 to the D. And that's the end of the song there. Cool, guys, we've whizzed through this mega quick. So hopefully all that makes sense. If you've got any questions in regards to like, you know, specific chords or specific chord changes, let me know, guys, and I'll see if I can answer those for you. But now then, let's jump into the very last part of the song. Well, it's not the last part of the song. You can play this all the way through. So let's make this big. So it's the lead guitar part, right? So the original part is played, if I grab my electric, which make sure it's in tune. Always make sure it's in tune. Yeah. And then it should. So I'll play that through, right? Let's make that a bit bigger here. So I'll play the original first of all. 2, 3, 4. That's the basic riff there. So that's a little bit above and beyond the beginner realm, but we can play those same notes. Let's bring the tab back up for you. Let's make it a bit more like that for now. Actually, no, you need to see my fingers a bit better, I think. So we can play those same notes kind of here in this area of the guitar. And because it's a lead guitar part, it's a great little workout for the fingers, you know, moving independently. And, you know, by playing this kind of stuff, you'll develop these fingers where they're able to play other things better as well. So it's always worthwhile kind of doing individual note, lead guitar note stuff. Let me get in close. All right, so what we've got then, guys, if you look at the tab there, hopefully you're all okay reading tab. I'll play it through for you first, and then we'll have a go together, okay? So I think I might play this wrong, but let me try. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay, I've got it. So we can play it just like that, and you know, if I play with the loop, 3, 4. Okay, so let's go through this this lead guitar part bit by bit. So we're going to be starting off, let me make sure you can see both hands. We're going to be playing the open B string to start with, okay? Now you can do this with the plectrum if you want to, but if you don't want to use a plectrum, you can just use your fingers. I quite like using my fingers. If you listen to it, I'm not sure if it comes through. Sorry. So I'm using my first finger and my thumb a lot of the time for this kind of stuff, but you can use a plectrum as well. If you use a plectrum, one thing I'd say is just make sure that you're not like floating the hand in mid-air like this and trying to find the notes like that, because it's really difficult to like find the notes that you're trying to play. Make sure you've got some form of kind of contact with the guitar. So I usually use this part of the hand here. I know I've said this a bunch of times before. I'll use it around about here, especially if I'm playing the higher strings. Around this area, I'll place it on the lower strings. So I've just got control over those and they don't ring out essentially. Some people would prefer to maybe kind of rest maybe a pinky there. Or some people, I often kind of come up on the high E string, although we need to play the high E string in this song. Maybe 2 fingers here and here, something to experiment with. Just if you're hovering it and you're not finding the strings great, that's not the way to do it. Because remember, you don't want to be watching this hand, you want to be watching this hand if you can, okay? All right, so we're going to start off then with an open B string, and then we're going to use finger number 2, and we're going to play fret number 2 on the G string. Let's get that like that. So that's going to give us this note here. Then we're going to take the second finger off to play 0 on the G string. And then we're going to put the second finger back down. Okay, so that's our first phrase. So again, we'll start off on the B string. Then we're going to play frets 2, 0, 2 on the G string. One more time. And again, we're playing 2, 0, 2 on the G with the second finger, I think, all right? So you want to phrase that then, 1, 2. So when you come in, when you hear the first G, 1, 2, 3, it comes in on the third beat. You don't have to count it though. You could essentially just make sure you listen to it, and if you know the song, you'll hear when it comes in. And if you're practicing this, once you've got it down, I wouldn't jump straight into it at full speed unless you know you can do it. Just listen to it on YouTube, take it down to like say 75% speed and play it at that speed there. So again, we've got first phrase. And again, it depends on where you're at. If you're using a plectrum, probably best to do all down picks. But if you're comfortable with that and you want to start working on, you know, your alternate picking, you could try. So I'm going down, up, down, up. A nice bit of vibrato on the end. So I remember when I was younger, kind of learning the guitar, I was listening to this classical guitar teacher, and he said, he was asked about what's the best way to get vibrato, and his response was just classic. He was like, yeah, you just wiggle it until it sounds good. And I was like, whoa, that's cool. But Justin has got some really cool lessons on like the technique for vibrato, the different types. So I don't want to go too deeply into that now, but for now, wiggle it until it sounds good, right? And then the next phrase, it's exactly the same as the first phrase, except for the last note, we're going to go on to fret 2 on the D string. So we're going to get, all right? So that gives us 2 phrases so far. First phrase is going to be, then let's try that again. I'll give us a count of 4. Then I'm going to count beats 1 and 2, and then we're going to come in on the 3. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. All right, so that's the first 2 phrases there. Have we got any questions regarding this lead guitar stuff? The way you kind of use your fingers, the way you're holding a plectrum. Don't forget, when you're holding the plectrum, make sure you're using kind of your thumb and your first finger. I think a really good way to hold it. I slightly changed the way I hold the plectrum depending on what it is I'm playing. But a good starting point would be just to make sure that, you know, you've got this kind of first finger, the side, the back side, not that side there, this side here, with the thumb going down just on top like that. And I often think the more kind of flesh, the more finger and thumb you've got on the plectrum itself, the more secure it's going to be, right? And whereas, you know, if you think on the flip side, if you were to hold it like that, you've got hardly any finger and thumb on it. It's going to move around loads. So plenty of kind of finger and thumb on it, just like that. So I'm just going to check to see if there are any comments, guys. I think we're all right. I think everyone is doing good. Yeah, cool. All right. So if we look at the next phrase, again, it starts with this this part that goes again. So each of the 3 phrases starts with 0 on the B, then 2, 0, 2 on the G. All right. So that's the first phrase, which altogether is. Second phrase. So sorry, let me rephrase what I just said. Each phrase starts with a 0 on the B, and then a 2 and a 0 on the G, and then it'll end up on a different note or going into something else, right? So phrase 1, phrase 2, phrase 3. So we go back to fret 2 there on the G. Then we're going to move up to play the open B string, fret 1 with finger 1. All right, so let's just go up as far as that. We're going to have, this is the last phrase now, then 0 on the B, fret 1 on the B with first finger, and then we're going to play the high E string open, and then we're going to use finger 3 to play that 3rd fret. All right, so our last phrase would be that part as normal, then so it might take you a little while just to kind of, you know, remember what it is you're playing there. But hopefully it's not too difficult for you to play through. So what we could try, although I think it might be a little bit too soon, you know what else I need? I need like a slow down control on my looper pedal. So I can kind of just slow it down so we can practice it. That'd be cool. I wonder if there's anything out there. Multiple kind of banks for different loops and a slow down function. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll play it all through, maybe with a metronome to start with. Everyone loves a metronome. Maybe a bit slower. Let's try that, right? So 72 BPM, my good old-fashioned metronome. Had this for so many years. Almost, no, maybe about like 16 years. All right, so I'm gonna give us a count of 4 with the ticker. Put it there so it's not too loud in the mic. And we're gonna play it through, okay? So count 4, then I'm gonna wait for 2 beats, and then we're gonna start and play all the way through, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 4, 3, 4. And again. 3, 4. 3, 4. Two more times. 3, 4. 3, 4. One more time. 3, 4. Cool, all right, so that's with the metronome. Now we could just finish off and see if we can play it along with the looper pedal. Let's give it a go and just see how it kind of pans out. Ready? Okay, so I'm gonna let it play through maybe once, maybe 2 times, just so you can get the speed, because it is up a little bit in tempo. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1, 2. We'll come in after this one. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. If you want to, that last part, you can just leave it out. So it doesn't do it every time. You can just stop there. And then next time. And chuck it in here. So this time, leave that out. Just wait there. And again. 2. So hopefully everybody's all right kind of playing that. I hope so. I hope I've made it kind of like straightforward and easy enough, because, you know, it just gives you something cool to like, it gives you that hook to play, doesn't it? As well as the chords, you know, it's cool to play a little bit of lead guitar, even if you're a beginner. So I'm just going to check the comments, guys, and just see if there are any questions. Okay, so please provide tab for what you did on the electric guitar. Okay, so I didn't kind of tab that out. I do have tabs for it. So what I might do is just ping them on in the WhatsApp group and not on the community, in the forums, you know, the community associated with this beginner club. I'll pop it on there. So hopefully that'll help you. Okay, nice, that simplified intro. Yeah, it's cool, isn't it? I like stuff like that where you kind of you do that kind of thing. Lee, I think a Trio Plus will do what you want. Oh, thanks, dude. Miles, you're like a heaven of information. Thank you, buddy. I will check that out. Oh man, Chukmonk. Oh, dude, £5. Thanks, Lee. Much appreciated. Oh, thanks, man. I really appreciate that. Thank you. That was great. Perfect. Thanks. Yeah, cool. Any more questions, guys? Thanks. That's boosted my confidence a lot. Awesome. Love to hear that, guys. You know, at the end of the day, these sessions, you know, they're all about kind of just you guys getting kind of involved and learning something, you know, kind of learning something, going away thinking, oh yeah, cool. I learned something there. I got a little bit better because of it. that's the whole point of them. And you know, so long as I know I'm kind of doing that, I'm exceedingly happy and smiley. Cool. All right then, guys. So I tell you what we'll do. I might just run through that intro just because the sessions are meant to last for an hour. So I think what I'm going to do is play the looper. I'm going to strum through the chords just in case you forgot what the chords were. Basically, we've got the G to the D, the C, and the D. If you're quite good, if you're more of an intermediate jumping into these sessions, you could always kind of just try the. See if you can just pick something out. That sounds quite cool. Like I said, it's beyond the scope of the beginner thing here, grades 1 to 3, but it can sound cool if you are an intermediate player jumping in. If not, we're going to go for our regular strumming patterns. I'm going to leave the lead guitar part up there because some of you might need to keep looking at that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to finish off. I'm going to play through the chords 4 times, then I'm going to play through the lead guitar 4 times. And I'm going to wave a big ta-da to you all then. So you can hang about for that if you want, but if not, you can just use it as a playthrough when you watch the video back or whatever. All right, here we go. I'm going to come straight in. I think the speed was something like this. 1, 2, 3. G. My bad. D. So this starts back to the G and D and the C. Let's try those the anchor way at the start. D. Keep the 3rd finger down anchor. C add 9. D and G. The D, 3rd finger anchor, C add 9, 3rd finger anchor, and D, 3rd finger anchor. One more time. After this, I'm going to go back to the lead guitar part, right? Just to finish off. 2, 3, 4, 2. Stop it there. I like stopping there. Nice one, guys. So I'm going to leave you with that. Thanks everybody again for coming along, taking part. Awesome to see you all, awesome to hear from you all. And I'll see you next month for another beginner guitar adventure. Alright, thanks guys, take care. See you all soon. Cheers now.